The third stabilizer we're going to talk about is water-soluble stabilizer or wash-away stabilizer. They go by the same name. This is a stabilizer that when you put it in water or dip it in water, it melts and it just pretty much goes away. So why in the world would you use a water-soluble stabilizer? Well, there are some specialty techniques, and a lot of times you'll see beautiful lace Christmas ornaments, or like this little piece here. If you can see, that's just, you can see right through it. That is a lovely little piece of lace. It is actually a Christmas ornament. There are, I did this little belt. This is, all of this is just thread. There's no fabric, there's nothing like that. It's just thread, and these are special techniques. This was a crochet embroidery technique, which again, I think is quite lovely. Anytime you see something that says it's standalone or standalone lace, that's when you're going to use a water-soluble stabilizer. And I did not do this, but I think this is just beautiful, so I have to share. This is, if you can see that, this is a little jacket that was done. This is all thread. So that's why you use, I mean, you don't want any fabric showing. All you want to see is the thread when you're done with your embroidery. Now this is done with machine embroidery. And so I went ahead and with actually these pieces over using that water-soluble stabilizer. So with water-soluble stabilizers, there are really two styles of water-soluble stabilizers. The first one that we saw on the market, it looked almost like plastic wrap. And so it's see-through. This is a style of water-soluble stabilizer. The other style is more the fibrous style. It looks, well, it looks like a cutaway or a tearaway almost, except it dissolves in water. So with water-soluble stabilizers, depending upon what you're doing, you're going to choose one or the other. I like to use the fibrous ones. There are different brand names for them, Aqua Magic, different things like that. But the fibrous one is what I use for all of these beautiful, you know, lace pieces. These pieces that once the stabilizer washes away, all you have is thread. And that's really cool. But this gives a little bit more support for that. So I like to use that for this. But another place, and I will use the original water solubles like this, I'll use this for terry towels. This is a towel that I did embroidery on. And so you can see here I did a little embroidery right here. With this embroidery, not only did I use a water-soluble stabilizer on the back, and I'll tell you what kind I used here, but also if you're ever working on something that has a high loft, like fleece or terry towels, that sort of thing, it's very nice to place just one layer. So just one layer of the clear water soluble, and you put that on top, and that helps hold all that loft down when you're doing embroidery. So that's where I will tend to use that. What I used on the back though is I actually used another special style of water soluble stabilizer, and this is similar to that sticky tearaway that we had. So if you didn't look at the first thing about tearaways, the first little video, go back and look at that, because we talked about a sticky tearaway. Well, for something like this that's going to be washed an awful lot, I like to use the sticky wash away. So it's, you can kind of hear that. It's all sticky right there. This is what protects the stickiness when it's on the rolls. So what you do is you hoop your stabilizer, then you score, and you take off this piece, and then you stick your garment, or in my case, I stuck my towel right to this. Then went ahead and put a piece of this on top. So I'm using 2 stabilizers to work with a terry cloth or something that has a lot of loft to it. So wash away stabilizers, great things to have. Again, my favorite is the fibrous one. However, I certainly use the regular plastic, I call it plastic, but it isn't, the regular just clear water-soluble stabilizers as well. And before I let us go, I just want you to see, I'm going to do a little demonstration. Have a little bowl of water right here, and then I'm just going to dip my stabilizer in that bowl. And once it starts to melt just a little bit, you're going to start to see it starts to go away. So it gets all gooey. There we go. And it starts to just basically dissolve. And that's what happens there. Now it's really going away. So I know it's hard to see, but you can kind of see how it's getting super soft and it just goes away. So with that, like that, you can just see how funny it is, but it works so well. So it really does wash away when you get done working with that. I'm going to use my little towel here. So it does go away. It's great for all of those beautiful lace and crochet. And also when you're working with like terry and things like that. Anytime you want your stabilizer to go away completely, that's when you're going to use a wash away stabilizer.